Hey there, treasure hunters. Let me ask you something. When's the last time you actually looked at your spare change? No, I'm not talking about scrounging for vending machine money, I mean really looked at it. Because guess what? That plain, unassuming quarter from 1965 sitting in your piggy bank might actually be worth way more than 25 cents. Yes, you heard me right. In today's video, we're diving into the world of the 1965 no-mint mark Washington quarter. We'll uncover its fascinating history, why collectors love it, and, most importantly, how much it's worth today. Stick around, because you might just walk away richer, or at least a little bit wiser. Okay, so first, a little history lesson, but don't worry, I'll keep it short and fun. In 1965, the US Mint decided to shake things up. Silver was getting too expensive for coins, so they switched to a copper-nickel blend for quarters. That means if you've got a 1964 quarter, it's 90% silver, but if it's a 1965 quarter, it's not. But here's the kicker: during that transition, a few 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver blanks. Oops. These silver 1965 quarters are the holy grail for collectors. If you find one, it could be worth thousands. Imagine paying off your credit card debt with a single coin. Talk about a glow-up for your wallet. Now, let's talk about the more common 1965 no-mint mark quarter. Don't tune out yet, because even these copper-nickel coins can fetch a pretty penny if they're in pristine condition. Why? Collectors love high-grade coins, especially those with sharp details and a clean surface. So, if you've got a 1965 quarter that looks like it just popped out of a time machine, you might be sitting on $50, $100, or even more. And no mint mark? Totally normal for quarters from this year. The Philadelphia Mint didn't use mint marks back then. Quick story time. Last summer, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage when we found an old jar of coins. Among the dimes and pennies was a shiny 1965 quarter that caught my eye. I thought, no way, this is worth anything, but curiosity got the best of me. I grabbed a magnifying glass, looked up some guides, and boom, turns out it was in almost uncirculated condition. We sold it for $75. Not life-changing, but hey, that's dinner and a movie for a coin we almost tossed aside. Now, how do you know if your 1965 quarter is special? First, check the edge. A silver 1965 quarter won't have that copper stripe on the edge. Next, look at the coin's condition. If it's beat up and scratched, it's probably just worth face value. But if it's sharp and shiny, consider getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give you an official rating that can seriously boost its value. Let's talk current market trends. Right now, a typical 1965 quarter in circulated condition won't fetch much more than face value. But high-grade specimens can go for $50 or more, and those rare silver errors. We're talking $7,000 to $10,000, depending on the market. Imagine turning a quarter into 10 grand. That's better than finding $20 in your laundry, am I right? So, there you have it, the surprising truth about the 1965 no-mint mark Washington quarter. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who likes hunting for treasures in unexpected places, this coin has a story worth knowing. Now, here's your homework. Go check your piggy bank, your couch cushions, and that weird drawer in your kitchen where you throw all your random stuff. Who knows what you'll find? Ever had one of those days where you're scrounging through the couch cushions and think, hey, maybe I'll find a coin worth a fortune? Well, hold on to your magnifying glasses, because today, we're diving into the 1971 D Washington quarter. Spoiler alert, it's not just another piece of pocket change. Before we dig in, a quick question: what's the most random place you've ever found a coin? For me, it was inside my car's cup holder, stuck in what I'm pretty sure was a melted gummy bear. Gross, but worth it when you think of what some coins could be valued at. Now, let's talk about why this quarter could turn your loose change into a collector's dream. Alright, so the 1971 D quarter might not have the flashiest reputation, but here's the deal: it's all about the mint mark and condition. This little D under the date means it was minted in Denver. Fun fact, the Denver Mint pumped out over 250 million of these coins in 1971. That's a lot of quarters, but not all 1971 D quarters are created equal. Collectors are on the lookout for coins with exceptional quality or errors. Enter the MS-65 or higher condition, think shiny, flawless, and practically untouched. Coins like that can fetch up to $20 or more at auction. Doesn't sound like much? Compare that to its original value of 25 cents, and that's an 8,000% increase. Not bad for a quarter. Now, let's talk errors. Minting mistakes can turn an ordinary coin into a small fortune. Look for things like double die errors, where details like the letters or numbers look shadowed or doubled, and my personal favorite, strange anomalies, like a missing clad layer. These are rare but could fetch $100 or more. If you're squinting at your coins and thinking, I'm gonna need a stronger magnifying glass, don't worry, you're not alone. I've spent hours with a headlamp muttering things like, is that doubling, or did I just drink too much coffee today? Now, let's talk market value. A circulated 1971 D quarter, one that's been passed around more times than a family recipe, is worth, drumroll, about 25 cents. Yeah, not exciting, but hold up. A coin in brilliant uncirculated condition, the kind collectors drool over, can go for $5 to $20. Throw in an error, and boom, we're talking anywhere from $50 to $300, depending on the rarity. Now, before you go digging through your coin jar, remember, the coin market fluctuates. 1 month your quarter's worth $5, and the next, it's $50. It's like cryptocurrency, but shinier and less stressful. Do you have a 1994 P Washington quarter sitting in your pocket or piggy bank right now? Because that little piece of metal could be worth more than you think. Now, I'm not saying you're going to retire on it, but hey, it might buy you a nice coffee or even fund your next coin hunting adventure. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1994 P Mint Mark Washington quarter. Why? Because it's a coin with more hidden secrets than your Netflix watch list. Stick around, because I'll not only break down the value of this quarter but also share a personal story about how I almost threw away a coin that was worth $50. Yep, it happens to the best of us. The 1994 P quarter is part of the standard Washington quarter series, minted in, drumroll, Philadelphia. That's what the P stands for. Over 1 billion of these were minted, so at first glance, it might seem as common as socks missing their match in the laundry. But here's the kicker: condition is everything. In circulated condition, your everyday pocket change quarter, it's worth, well, 25 cents. Shocking, I know. Now, if your coin looks shiny and fresh, like it just did a skincare routine, it might be uncirculated. These can fetch anywhere from $1 to $5 on the market. I know, it's not mansion money, but it's a start. The real jackpot comes with professionally graded coins. If you've got a 1994 P quarter graded at MS-67 or higher, you're looking at $50 to $100, or even more if it's a perfect MS-70. Look for errors. Coins with minting mistakes, like double dies or off-center strikes, are like the unicorns of the coin world. A 1994 P with an error could be worth hundreds. Here's where my story comes in. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my car and found a crusty quarter in the cup holder. It was a 1994 P. I almost tossed it in the coin jar of doom until I noticed something odd. Part of the design looked doubled. I got it checked out, and guess what? It was a double die error. That random quarter sold for $75. Moral of the story: always check your change. So, what's the takeaway? Never underestimate your pocket change. That 1994 P Washington quarter might be worth more than you think, especially if it's uncirculated or has a rare error. Before you go digging through your couch cushions, though, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Why? Because I've got tons more tips on coins that could put extra cash in your pocket. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next one. it might just change the way you look at spare change forever. Did you know there might be a small fortune hiding in your pocket change? That's right, today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1995 D Mint Mark Washington quarter. Why this coin? Well, it might just surprise you how much it's worth today. So grab a cup of coffee, a handful of quarters, and let's see if you've got one of these little gems tucked away somewhere. Spoiler alert, I'll also share a story about the time I almost tossed a valuable coin in a vending machine. Yikes. Okay, let's start with the basics. The 1995 D quarter is a standard Washington quarter minted in Denver, and at first glance, it doesn't look all that special. I mean, it's not like it's gold-plated or has some mysterious misprint. But here's the kicker, the condition and any subtle errors on the coin can make it worth far more than 25 cents. If you've got a 1995 D quarter in pristine condition, what coin collectors call MS-67 or higher, you're looking at a coin that could be worth anywhere from $15 to $30. Now, $30 may not sound life-changing, but hey, multiply that by a handful of lucky finds, and you're looking at a dinner date. If you happen to stumble upon one with rare errors, like a double die or a die clash, the value can shoot up to a couple $100. That's grocery money for a month, or at least enough to fill your gas tank these days. Speaking of errors, let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car and found a pile of coins under the seat, including a shiny quarter that I almost chucked into a vending machine for a bag of chips. Something about it caught my eye, though, so I took a closer look. It had a faint doubling on the lettering, which, as it turns out, made it worth around $50. $50. You better believe I skipped the chips and ran straight to a coin shop instead. Now, how can you check your 1995 D quarter? Grab a magnifying glass or a loupe, the nerdier, the better, and inspect it closely. Look for errors, scratches, and overall shine. If you're not sure, there are plenty of online resources and even coin grading services that can help. And let's not forget about sentimental value. Some folks collect coins from their birth year or from significant dates in their lives. If 1995 means something special to you, that quarter might already be priceless in your heart, but it's still worth knowing its market value, right? So, what's the takeaway? That humble change in your pocket could be worth more than you think, especially if it's a 1995 D Washington quarter. Check those piggy banks, folks. Quick question, have you ever found a quarter in your pocket and thought, hey, this could be my ticket to early retirement? Well, before you go buying that private island, let's talk about the 1998 D Washington quarter. Yep, the one that's probably jingling in your car's cup holder right now. Spoiler alert, it's not gonna make you Jeff Bezos rich, but it might just surprise you. Stick around because we're breaking down the value of this coin, what makes it special, and if you should hang on to it, or toss it into the vending machine for a Snickers bar. First, let's talk about what makes the 1998 D Washington quarter stand out. That D mint mark. It means the coin was minted in Denver. Over 821 million of these were made, so yeah, it's not exactly rare. But wait. Don't click away just yet. There's more to the story. If your quarter is in regular circulated condition, aka, it's seen the bottom of too many couch cushions, it's worth, drumroll, please, about 25 cents. Maybe 30 cents if you're lucky. I know, riveting news. But here's where things get interesting. If you've got one in near perfect, uncirculated condition, now we're talking dollars instead of cents. For example, a 1998 D quarter in mint state, MS-65 condition, think shiny and flawless, can fetch up to $10 at auction. And if it's graded even higher, those prices can climb. Imagine buying a $10 coffee with a quarter. How's that for a return on investment? Here's a little story for you. A couple of years ago, I found a pristine 1998 D quarter in my dad's old coin jar. I was ecstatic. I thought I hit the jackpot. Turns out, it was only worth about $6, but hey, it bought me a burger and fries, so no complaints. It also got me hooked on hunting for rare coins. Who knew quarters could be so addictive? Now, what makes these coins valuable? It all comes down to condition. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC are the gold standard. They'll assign a grade to your coin based on its condition, and that grade determines its value. Pro tip: don't try to clean your coin to make it shinier, it'll ruin its value faster than leaving it in a parking lot puddle. So, is your 1998 D Washington quarter worth big bucks? Probably not. But if you've got one in top-notch shape, it might be worth more than you think. The key is to keep your eyes peeled and your expectations realistic. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. What if I told you that a penny could be worth $1.8 million? Yep, you heard that right, a penny. Specifically, we're talking about the 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. So, before you start flipping through your piggy bank like it's a treasure chest, let's dive into why this little copper coin could potentially make you rich. Spoiler alert, it's not just about luck, it's about knowing what to look for. And stick around, because I'm sharing a hilarious story about the time I almost threw away a valuable coin. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Let's start with the basics. You're probably wondering what no mint mark means. Well, most US coins have a small letter stamped on them to indicate where they were made. For example, D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But if a coin doesn't have a mint mark, it was made in Philadelphia. In 1971, Philadelphia struck millions of pennies without a mint mark, but here's the kicker: not all of them were created equal. The 1971 no-mint mark penny we're talking about is rare because of a unique error. These error coins, like double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks, are basically the Kardashians of the coin world: rare, attention-grabbing, and worth a lot of money. The $1.8 million Lincoln penny is an ultra-rare specimen with an extremely unique minting error that collectors are drooling over. Now, I know what you're thinking: how can I find one of these gems? It's not as simple as finding any 1971 penny without a mint mark. You'll need to examine your coin closely, think CSI but with less drama and more magnifying glasses. Look for unusual patterns, doubling on the letters or numbers, or any weird marks on Abe's face. That's where the value comes from. Quick story time: a few years ago, I almost threw away a 1943 steel penny thinking it was junk. Turns out, it was worth a couple $100. Lesson learned: always check your change. Now, I'm not saying every penny is a jackpot waiting to happen, but the thrill of the hunt. Priceless. So, there you have it, the fascinating story of the 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that's worth a staggering $1.8 million. Who knew a coin you might overlook every day could be worth more than a Lamborghini? Remember, treasure could be hiding in plain sight. All it takes is curiosity and a good eye. Have you ever reached into your pocket for spare change and wondered, what if one of these coins is secretly worth a fortune? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into a little copper superstar, the 1973 D Lincoln penny that's making collectors swoon with a jaw-dropping value of $1.6 million. Yep, one tiny penny could be worth more than your dream home. Crazy, right? Stick around, and I'll tell you why this humble coin is so special, how to spot it, and the steps you need to take if you strike gold, or copper, in this case. So, why is this penny so valuable? Let's break it down. In 1973, at the Denver Mint, they cranked out millions of these Lincoln pennies. But there's a twist. A small number of them were struck on error planchets, essentially the wrong type of metal. Instead of the usual copper alloy, some of these coins were accidentally struck on aluminum planchets, creating an ultra-rare variation. Only a handful of these escaped into circulation before the mistake was caught, and collectors have been on a mission to find them ever since. Now, the big question: how do you know if your 1973 D penny is the real deal? First, look for the D mint mark right below the date. Got it? Great. Next, check the weight. A normal penny weighs about 3.11 grams, but the aluminum version is much lighter, just 1 gram. If you suspect you've got a winner, get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service. Trust me, don't skip this step. You don't want to sell $1 million coin for 10 cents at a garage sale. Been there, regretted that. Well, not with $1 million coin, but you get my point. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I found a weird-looking penny while cleaning out my car. I got all excited, thinking it could be one of these rare treasures. I Googled, I waited, I even had a jeweler look at it. Turns out, it was just a penny someone had painted silver for a school project. Yep, I went from millionaire in the making to guy holding a shiny penny real quick. Lesson learned, always double check with an expert. So there you have it, your next coffee run could literally make you a millionaire. Imagine spotting that rare 1973 D penny and having your whole life change in an instant. But even if you don't find the jackpot coin, hunting for treasures in your pocket change is just plain fun. Who knows, you might stumble across other valuable coins along the way. Now, here's your call to action. If you want more insider tips on spotting rare coins, learning what's worth money. You're digging through your couch cushions, hunting for spare change to grab a coffee, and bam, you find a penny. Just an ordinary, unassuming 1985 Lincoln penny. Or so you think. What if I told you that tiny coin could be worth a whopping $1.4 million? Yes, million. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins and uncovering why this little copper beauty could make you richer than your wildest dreams. Stick around, you might just become the next accidental millionaire. So let's talk about this legendary 1985 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. First off, what's a no-mint mark penny? Simple. It's a coin that doesn't have the little letter under the date indicating where it was made. Most 1985 pennies have a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But if yours is missing that mint mark, congratulations. You've got yourself a rare gem.so. Why is it worth so much? It all comes down to rarity. Coins without mint marks are often production errors, which makes them super desirable to collectors. Think of it as the coin version of a rare Pokémon card or a misprinted book cover. Collectors go crazy for this stuff. And in the case of the 1985 Lincoln penny, one recently sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. That's not just a fluke, it's history in your pocket. Here's the kicker, most people don't even realize they have one. I mean, who really looks at their pennies? I didn't, until the day I stumbled across a penny I thought was special. Quick backstory, I was cleaning out my car, and I found this old, crusty penny that looked weirdly shiny in one corner. I got excited, Googled it like a madman, only to find out it wasn't worth a cent more than face value. Womp womp. But hey, lesson learned. Now I check every single coin like I'm Indiana Jones searching for treasure. So, how can you tell if you've got the real deal? First, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's camera to zoom in. Check under the date, if there's no little D or S, you might be in luck. But don't celebrate just yet. You'll want to get it verified by a professional coin appraiser or grading service like PCGS or NGC. Also, condition matters big time. A pristine, shiny penny with no scratches or wear is what collectors dream about. If your penny looks like it's been through 10 rounds in a washing machine, it might still be worth something, but don't expect the full $1 million payout. So there you have it, the humble penny that could change your life. Who knew that something so small and overlooked could pack such a punch? The next time you're sorting through spare change or emptying your piggy bank, take a closer look. You never know, you might be holding your ticket to a 7-figure payday. Before you go diving headfirst into your coin jar, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. I've got plenty more tips and tricks on finding coins worth serious cash, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. Share this video with your friends too, because who doesn't want to be the friend who says, "Hey, I just helped you find $1 million." What if I told you that a penny, yes, the same kind you probably dig out of your couch cushions, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about the elusive 1988 Lincoln penny without a mint mark, a coin so rare it's turning heads in the collector world. And trust me, you're gonna want to check your loose change after this video. Now, before we dive in, quick question: when was the last time you actually looked at a penny? No judgment. I once found one in my jacket pocket from 2002. But who knows, maybe that pocket change is your golden ticket. Or in this case, copper ticket. What makes this little penny so special? The key here is the lack of a mint mark. Normally, pennies are minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, and they get a cute little letter to show it. No mint mark. That's rare and gets collectors all giddy, but here's the kicker: this isn't just any 1988 penny. This one has a fascinating error on the reverse side. The FG initials of the coin's designer, Frank Gasparo, are different. Basically, the die used was swapped out for one meant for another year, creating a Frankenstein coin. Cue spooky music. Now, let's talk numbers. At auction, one of these beauties fetched a staggering $1.3 million. Yes, million with an M. That's life-changing money for a penny. I mean, forget Bitcoin, this is Bitcopper, so why is it worth so much? Collectors adore rare errors because they're like finding a four-leaf clover in a forest of weeds. Plus, coins in pristine condition, graded MS-65 or higher, are even more valuable. It's like finding a needle in a haystack that also happens to be made of gold. But don't worry if your penny isn't mint condition. Even slightly circulated ones can go for thousands of dollars. Imagine paying off your car with a coin you accidentally stepped on. Now that's a flex. Speaking of stepping on pennies, true story, a few years ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, aka the Bermuda Triangle of my house, and found a little pile of pennies. I almost tossed them, but something told me to hang on to them. Fast forward a week, and I learned about rare pennies online. I didn't have a $1.3 million jackpot, but I did find one worth $50. Not bad for a drawer cleaning session, right? Moral of the story: always check your coins, people. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. So there you have it, the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny, your potential ticket to millionaire status. Ready to hunt for treasure? Start with your spare change, because who knows, you might just strike it rich without even leaving your house. You come across a 1990 no mint mark Lincoln penny. You're about to toss it in with the rest, but wait, what if I told you that tiny, unassuming penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1 million? Yes, $1 million. Don't believe me? Stick around, and let's dive into this coin conundrum together. You might just find a fortune hiding in plain sight. So what's the deal with the 1990 no mint mark Lincoln penny? First, a quick primer. Most US coins are stamped with a mint mark, those little letters like D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. But in 1990, something strange happened. Some pennies left the mint without a mark. No S, no D, no P, just plain OL Lincoln staring back at you. Now here's where it gets interesting. A small number of these no mint mark pennies made their way into circulation, and because they're so rare, collectors are willing to shell out the big bucks, like 6 zeros kind of big bucks. One of these elusive coins even sold for over $1 million at auction. That's a lot of zeros for a penny, right? But before you go flipping over your couch cushions, let's talk about what makes these coins valuable. It's all about condition, folks. Collectors use a grading system to assess a coin's worth, and if your penny is in pristine, mint state, condition, you're sitting on a gold mine, or should I say, a copper mine. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I got into coin collecting as a side hustle. One day, I found a penny that looked a little different. I was convinced it was a rare treasure, so I marched into my local coin shop with the confidence of someone who just won the lottery. Turns out, it was just a regular penny with a scratch. But hey, we live and learn, right? The moral of the story. Always double-check with a professional before you start planning your mansion in Malibu. You don't want to be the person who spends $1 million worth of enthusiasm on a 1-cent reality check. So, there you have it, the fascinating world of the 1990 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Who knew something so small could be worth so much? If you've got one lying around, it might be time to dust off that old piggy bank and take a closer look. And hey, if you're loving this treasure hunting vibe, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more tips and tricks on coins worth money, hidden gems, and how to turn your change into cha-ching. Smash that like button, drop a comment if you've got any questions, and don't forget to share this video with your fellow coin collectors. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your pocket change bring you prosperity.